15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto Ron, Elvis in the late poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here now, your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. I'm really excited for tonight's episode, to be honest. DT and I have joked over the years about how these sessions are sometimes therapeutic, for sure, in the sports sense. And sometimes you just got to get stuff off your chest. I know that I'm guilty of that for sure. And there's a few things to unpack tonight. Joining me, as always, my co-host, riding shotgun, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. It seems like every year we get a little stumbling block at the beginning of the year, and we got to work through it, man. Let's talk through this shit tonight, man. What's good?
Nickel City, what's up? Happy Thursday, Rob. Happy Thursday, man. 1 week till we kick off. What are we calling it? Nickel City Crew Charlotte Extravaganza?
Something, man. A takeover. We're gonna have to come. We'll come with a good day.
We'll get a hashtag going. We'll get a hashtag going on the socials. But happy to be here, another Thursday night crew. Listen, we're in the middle of it. Bye week, a good air, like you said. Let's therapy. Let's get through this. Couple days now, we let it set in. We got a whole week and a half till we kick again. So let's get through this. Sky's not falling, but a lot to address.
Yeah, a lot to address. It's interesting. I need some help. So, joining us tonight. Welcome back. I mean, listen, host of the Mob Files. If you do not check out the Mob Files, you need to check out the Mob Files. My man Sheed. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Sheed808. Holla at the crew. Sheed, what's good? Welcome back.
Hey, Rob, thanks for having me back. Good to see you. Good to see you, DT, as well, man. I'm happy to be on your show. Host of the Mob Files. You can check me out, Sheed808 if you don't already follow me, man. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, let's get into it. I named the episode the way that I did for a specific reason. And DT knows about my disdain for Everybody Eats. But here's why I named the episode the way that I did, because really right after Stephon Diggs was traded and this whole philosophy that Joe Brady was kind of bringing into fruition came to be, I started to view Everybody Eats as a poison, because what would happen is that it had now morphed into a situation where Josh Allen he could do everything. I mean, he's Superman. He could put on the cape. What happened after 14 leaves is that, well, listen, Josh won the MVP. We put up 30 points a game, like Brandon Bean boasted on WGR. He can do it all. Listen, let's just let Josh do it all, and let's not really worry about the weaponry that he has around him, because of the fact that Josh can handle it. I mean, he's got broad shoulders. He can handle it. And what I had been saying most recently on Twitter, DT, was that this has started to morph into a poison, because it's tricking the fan base into thinking that Josh Allen doesn't need help. Josh Allen doesn't need things on his side. Sheed, if you could speak to it a little bit, because for me, Everybody Eats was always a problem, but I had to shut up last year. I had to be quiet because of the fact that they go all the way to the AFC Championship game and obviously lose to Kansas City again. But, you get the MVP crowned, and I had to be quiet. But I warned everyone that if things started to go haywire, I was going to be back, and they had to show me again in another year. This was not good. Bills lost to the Atlanta Falcons 24-14. It was not good on offense. I think it's a poison, man. I think that this is a poison.
Well, what you have to thank for it is the Patrick Mahomes experiment, right? Well, Patrick Mahomes, it was a season where he didn't have too many weapons and he still was able to get Kansas City to the Super Bowl, right? And so GMs across the league said, hey, if I got a superstar quarterback, then maybe I can go on it cheap in terms of offensive weapons, and maybe we can duplicate the success of the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But what you're finding out is that the number one receiver, especially when you don't have a Patrick Mahomes, right? And not saying Josh Allen isn't a great quarterback. He's one of the very best in the league. But what you're finding out is very hard to replicate that kind of success when you don't have a number one receiver. As you've seen when Stephon Diggs came in here a few weeks ago, man, it would have been good to have a guy like that, right? And if you don't have a guy like that, you need something similar, right? you don't have to have a Ferrari, but you need a Mercedes, a BMW, something that has something under the hood that everybody has to respect.
DT, you know that I've been preaching on this a little bit, and I mean McDermott called it too cute a couple weeks ago, and then I mean last week we were doing end arounds to Elijah Moore on fourth and short. I mean I don't. And this is a weird thing. We're gonna get to Brady, but everybody eats has almost made it feel like Josh can do everything and he can lift and he's the tide that raises all boats. I never bought it. Last year I had to be quiet, DT. I'm starting to make some noise again, man. I don't like it.
Rightfully so, but I think, I'll devil's advocate this and we'll roll it back a little bit. The 53-man roster, the coaches, the Brandon Beans, the Terry Pagulas, this whole team, one organization. Monday night, nobody did a single thing to help anybody else out. The coaches didn't call a great game. Offense, defense, special teams, head coach. Offensively, offensive line got beat up in the trenches a little bit. Josh was getting touched, as we'll get to later. Josh Allen didn't make great throws, didn't have the resilience sometimes we usually see. We kind of got that pissed off Josh, taking his helmet off, talking shit to people on the sideline. They just kept going to him, looking completely distraught. Wide receivers, I guess from getting open. I don't know. I got to get on that all 22 to see, but that first read just was never there. So that's offensively, nobody helping anybody. Defensively, same deal. Trenches, getting ran on. Bijan Robinson, all the way, all day. Same with the linebackers, same with the defensive backs. No tackles, no pressures, nothing to help anybody else. So, yes, some of those problems on Monday might have resulted from the everybody eats and there's a philosophy issue, but you got to look at that as a team loss. This was the flip-flop of that Baltimore Ravens game last year. In week 4, that was the first game of the 2-game skid. They came back in the second game, didn't play great against the Texans, but lost by a field goal last second. Got punched in the mouth straight up by the Ravens. This was the flip. Last week, committed 3 turnovers, 11 penalties against the Patriots, had the lead in the fourth quarter, lost one, tough divisional game. Monday, you got punched in the mouth in every aspect. You got your ass kicked. Every piece of the ball. Nobody helped anybody. Yes, everybody eats might have been one of the issues that didn't help Josh get somebody open or whatnot, but you got to look at that as an overall team loss. And it is early in the season. I think it's a couple more weeks. I mean, you obviously don't want to lose 2 more games. And then after 2 weeks, Rob, we're sitting here talking about after the Chiefs game, man, we're 4-4. Everybody eats. It's a problem. It's a poison. So I get that. It's okay to address it now, but it might be a little early leaning on that Monday night was a complete team loss. It wasn't everybody eats. It was literally everybody involved from top to bottom of that organization. We got punched in the mouth and beat fair and square on Monday and didn't have it in us. So everybody eats might be an issue, but I don't think I'm talking about that yet as the end all be all, because Monday you got beat bad. And that's bigger concerning than everybody eats to me.
What is Joe Brady's issue? I heard on the radio driving home today. I heard this today that maybe they're playing the Chiefs possum game where they're not trying to show things and things like that. And okay, that sounds a little bit like bullshit, but okay, no problem. What is Joe Brady trying to accomplish? Because I got a real issue with this offensive coordinator. The scheme for the power run was working. I mean, James Cook was gashing them. Now, he wasn't breaking out for huge games, but he was gashing them. He goes away from the run game. James Cook is non-existent when the second half comes around, especially in the fourth quarter when you need find a way to get that touchdown to tie the game or take the lead. What is Joe Brady? What's his deal, man? What's his deal?
Yeah, I think the reality of the situation is what you're watching is inexperience, right? When you're looking at the defensive side, coaching matters and coaching experience matters, right? We saw
Mhm.
Joe Brady and the Bills offense average 30 points per game last year, and they went into the season averaging 30 points per game, and everybody became a believer of Joe Brady. But when you take a look back and you start to think about the actual reality of the situation, is that you have on both sides of the ball inexperience. You have an inexperienced defensive coordinator. You have an inexperienced offensive coordinator, and it's showing. The end around or the jet sweep on 4th and 1 is a prime example of inexperience when you talk. And so this is what you get when you discount somebody's resume and you promote them to a position within your organization that they're not necessarily
They're
qualified
not ready
for.
for it.
You're going to get inexperience results.
I, okay, DT. James Cook is the most explosive player outside of Josh Allen on the offense. And I don't understand why you don't want to manufacture and make sure that he's getting the ball. Now, I've been told all week that because he can't block, that's why they've got Ty Johnson out there. I am starting to feel like, man, prove it. Prove it. Show me that. Show me a protection breakdown. The Falcons were blitzing all of the time, so that should have been something that we were anticipating because we talked about it. They were the number one blitz team, happy team coming into that game. It just seems like a situation where, I mean, I don't want to hear that shit anymore, DT. Like I don't want to hear that James Cook can't block on 3rd down. So we just eliminate him out the game plan. He could catch the ball out the backfield. He may not be the most physically stout. He's not, stocky like that, but like, show me, you know what I mean? Show me some whiffs on some blitz pickups. Show me, have him out there. Let me blame him then if he's not out there doing his job. I just don't like this thing where we're just giving out this excuse of like, you know what, he can't, so we're not even going to try. He can't do it, so we're not even going to see if we can do it, or if he's gotten better, or if he's working to get better. I think that the second most explosive player on your offense needs to have touches when you're struggling to score points. They came out second half, score right off the bat, and then everything goes non-existent. I think it was like 3 straight 3 and outs or some crazy shit like that. I do not like it. I want to see him on the field. I don't like it.
Pretty weird, right? I mean, last year, the dude gets a second contract for playing 47% of the snaps on the offense and scored the most points in team history, right? Gets a contract off of that, comes in the first couple of games of the season, he's playing 70, 80% of snaps in some games. So it's like, oh, okay, he got the bag, we're going to play him more, he's going to be in there. And then, yeah, weird. The last 2 games in the Patriots game and in this game, Patriots game was, I mean, we were throwing a little more, but still, like, you got to have him in more. Played that first possession there in the second half, gashing him for 8 yards of carry, and then we barely see him in the fourth quarter because we had to pass. Well, they're blitzing all night. Ty Johnson, if he's I mean, he didn't play a great game either. He didn't help Josh Allen in that pocket either. So obviously, he's a better pass blocker than James Cook because it wouldn't be a thing if that wasn't the case.
Right.
But if Ty Johnson's doing stuff like that, and we could have that weapon of James Cook, Josh, get out of there quicker, roll out, and find 4 coming across on a wheel route or something like that where he doesn't have to, it's not screen-like, it's just more, get him out in the open space like he's taking the handoff. So, little weird. Last year, got the contract without playing a lot of snaps, then comes in, plays a ton of snaps to start the year, and then it felt like the only thing that was working we get away from. So weird on that. But on the Brady thing, this is not just like a couple weeks. This is, you remember last year when it kind of started off, and it was like those screenplays. He just kept going back to that. And like every game, it was like 1 or 2, and it just became familiar and relevant. Like, oh, stop. Like, we're getting too cute. Right? He's doing the screenplay stuff. It never works. Yada, yada. We get into the AFC Championship game last year. We ran the whatever the hell that was on 4th and 1 100 times and didn't get it and was frantic and was all over the place. So, like, was that the call? Was that McDermott's call? Was that Brady's call? If that's Brady's call, like, oh, well, it didn't work. It's going to work now. It's going to work now. The screen pass didn't work. Now it's going to work now. Now this bullshit jet sweep is literally 4 weeks in a row.
I was just going to say it's like 3 weeks in a row. Because
to a guy who hasn't made a play all year.
In the Saints game, Khalil Shakir, it's like 4th and 2 when he gets tackled like a 5-yard loss.
Right.
Then you fumble in the Dawson Knox, and then you put the ball on the ground in 18. And like in your notes, that didn't even get a jersey last week. So it's like, what are you doing? So Is it like he's getting not in like he's not stubborn, but he's just trying to get ahead of the curve. He's trying to get to red. It's gone black 10 times, so he's trying to get to red, right?
Look, man.
What's he trying to do? And I think he's getting maybe too cute in his own head, trying to beat the curve here. Like, all right, they know we're not running the jet sweep again because we fumbled 3 weeks in a row, fucking doing it. So they know we're not going to run it again. Oh, here it is. Oh, they fumbled again.
Talk. I mean, you can. Yeah.
I'm trying. DT got some great points, man. The reality of the situation is, when you think about it, man, it's an experience. It's coaching, not only my inexperience point, but the point is taking James Cook off the field and putting another player in. All of these different. Sometimes I look at the formation and I'm saying, why is Elijah Moore out there? Or why is Khalil Shakir off the field? Coaches nowadays think they're smarter than the game itself. Why don't you just keep your best damn players on the field for your best damn plays and run your best? Like Vince Lombardi used to have one run and we're going to run straight up the middle. Why not just keep doing what works versus all these different personnel formation, all these different personnel packages, and do what works? And I just think the inexperience is showing, and we can't give them more credit than they actually deserve and what they actually earned. They haven't earned our ability to respect their ability in their experience, right? Especially on the defensive side, but we ain't got there yet. But I just think it's inexperience when you talk about offensive play calling and Joe Brady, and it's showing. But if I make one more quick point to this, is I think Sean McDermott, like his coaches, subservient, right?
Yes.
He ran. He ran the coach at the New York, ran him out of town. Ran Frazier out of town. Run everybody who can stand up to you, who got some NFL experience, who can talk back to you. Run them out of town, and therefore you get some younger guys who you mentored, and then you kind of got what you want, and you're the man. And that's the reality. That's the problem, and that's the reality of the situation as I see it.
Wow, that and Ty Dunn spoke to that, DT, when you called it that hit piece. And you know I love my boy Ty Dunn. Shout out to Ty Dunn. But listen, the reason that I love the piece so much is because he's gritty. Ty does the work. Ty goes behind the scenes. He asks players. He asks players on the team. He asks former employees. So when everybody wanted to call it a hit piece, and I'm not taking shots at you, DT, but what my point is that you get the real truth. And you definitely do get the real truth when he goes and he starts to dig. And what did everybody say about that article was that one of the things that rubbed a lot of the players the wrong way was then when McDermott, it seemed like he was a little bit perturbed and he was a little bit taken aback by all the praise that Chad Hall was getting. And then I think they something in the parking lot was in there talking about how, he was like, he didn't like the fact that all these players are giving all this little credit to Chad Hall, the wide receivers coach, and he nipped that shit right in the bud. And you laugh at DT, but I have heard it before on Twitter Spaces. Shout out to our boy Whittle, who also hosts a lot of stuff on those Twitter Spaces. I heard a guy come on there one time, former military man, and he was talking exactly about what she said and said McDermott likes underlings. He likes people below him so that way he can dictate what he wants. He doesn't want anybody to stand up to him. Man, that just resonated with me, Sheen.
Rob, if I could say one more to this point, DT, and I'm going to get off the mic, get off the stage really fast. One more thing to this point. But if you notice, and I watch these press conferences very closely, he hasn't said a word negative about Bobby Babbage. His mentor, his clone, hasn't said anything slightly or remotely.
That's his protege.
Anything wrong about Bobby Babbage, but they fired Ken Dorsey for less last year or the year before. They fired him for less
when there was 12 men on the field. That's
now check this out. Check this out. Now Joe Brady is going a little bit rogue in his play calling and all of something. Oh, this is too cute. I talked to him about James, and next thing you know, he's out the door. Anytime anybody do something that's just outside of what Sean McDermott likes, you got a problem. And he's selling. He's done sold people to drought fear, and he's selling to people this bridge to nowhere, and everybody keep buying it. Sorry.
DT, speak to it. You were just laughing a little bit about that Ty Dunn, but I love my boy Ty Dunn. I mean, I've seen this. I've seen this out of him before with how he did Frazier dirty as fuck when he told him, come back, but you're not calling plays. Like what? So all you try to do is just fire him without firing, so you don't have to say that you fired him. Like, come on, man. Yeah. That's weak, man. That shit is weak.
I'd agree. He's always looked for a scapegoat. When push comes to shove, he's really never taken responsibility. And the biggest situation of all time is 13
We don't even know what
seconds.
happened in 13 seconds. We still
And
don't know.
even if it wasn't his fault, a true, I think a true leader and coach would say that's 100% my fault. That's got to be handled better as the head coach of a football team in that situation. We got to handle that better. And it was sketchy. And so we've known this, right? He's looked for scapegoats. He's not always thrown under the bus, but when the fire's the hottest, he tends to, say some off-color stuff, to say some, he knows how I feel about Joe Brady this week, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
I like Sheet's point in saying that the older NFL experience is out of there. It's the young up and comers. Okay, we got to follow Coach McDermott, but this whole situation isn't here without McDermott, and we can all say that. Like, this is a culture. This is a whole thing that people buy into, and this is why we're winning. And maybe because the talent isn't that good, and we're starting to see that a little more, but it hasn't been that good the past year, and we just make it happen because of this culture and because of Josh Allen, right? But these dudes are doing, that's what Sean McDermott, like, structured, run the ball, do this, and Joe Brady's doing, okay, this is going to work, we're going to keep doing it. And like, that same type of mindset is definitely given in from the head coach, but that's unless it's a very experienced coaching staff. But I mean, I get it. And a lot of these coaches are in these roles, but there's a lot of coaches that are very successful at OC, and Sean McVay, a head coach at, 36 years old. Joe Brady's 36 and he's been a grad assistant. He's the betting favorite to be the next head coach at Penn State, a massive program. Like, I get college and NFL are different, but like the experience, like, bro, like I get it, but if you might just not be good. If sometimes you're a late bloomer, sometimes you need the experience, but it's not like he's just, yes, he's young, but it's not like he just started coaching. He's the betting favorite to be the best coach, not the best coach, but
I understand what you
hired to a huge program. So I think it's a mix of a lot of those things of, you can't
are you
have
trying
your
to
cake
say
and
that
eat
this is a McDermott initiative?
You can't have your cake and eat it too if you're McDermott.
Orders.
But this is because of the inexperience. They're kind of just falling in line to this McDermott MO. And I don't think it's necessarily Sean McDermott, you step into my office, look into my crystal ball, like going full villain mode. But I think it's them just, okay, we're unexperienced. These guys win 13 games a year. Coach McDermott, everyone respects. Let's just kind of do what he does.
Oof.
I do agree with most of what you said, DT. I do agree with most of what you said. However, when you said that we're not winning without we're not winning without Josh Allen, right? Let's not forget Sean McDermott is the guy who decided that Nathan Peterman was the best quarterback that the Bills had on the roster when you had a rookie Josh Allen. Let's not forget his blunders. Like, this guy, and that's part of it. We got fears of the Patriots and Drake May going for the next 15 years on us, and we like, wait, let's hold it together. Is it the culture? Here's the problem with the culture, DT.
Talk to us.
We ain't got no dogs. We ain't got enough dogs. Where's my dogs that they're gonna say if it ain't wearing blue, hit everything moving. Get everything moving. What we got is a bunch of choir boys who go down to Atlanta and pay their tithes and offering and we need the usher to close the door. They closing the doors.
Yeah. Nobody leave.
We ain't got no dogs. Yeah. We ain't got nobody stealing out of the concession stand or whatever it's called nowadays.
Yeah. Offering plate. Yeah.
Offering plate.
I mean, listen, man. Okay.
I want to. I stand on that.
Go ahead. I know. I mean, DT is right about that because he has been on that same MO for a while about getting some dogs in there, and we're trying to pull it out of Josh. And we talked about a couple weeks ago where I just don't think that's Josh's nature. And you saw some of the bad body language from Josh on Monday night that kind of really speaks to that. Now, before we transition, real quick. All right, we'll do it this way. Tonight's episode is presented by Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria, along with our friends over at the I-86 After Dark Podcast Network. Listen, head over, check out I-86 Podcast Network. We're now simulcasting on their network. I like those boys over there. Some good friends of mine in respect to my boy Tom Wujek and Bobby Hansen. Listen, their network is cool. They've got a lot of Sabres content for you. They got stuff that I never even, wrestling content. They got a lot of cool stuff over there. Please check out I-86 After Dark. And then again, Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria down here in Charlotte, where I am, where DT will be in a few weeks. Listen, if you're missing that Western New York good food, the pizza, the subs, all that type of stuff, the wings, I'm trying to tell you, hit my girl Jen Battaglia up and her crew over at Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria right here in Huntersville. You will not be upset that you did. It'll make you feel like you're back in Western New York. All right, before we flip to D, this would be a disservice if I don't keep it funky. I have to keep it funky. I have to keep it funky. Something is going on with 17. Now, I don't know, okay? I know that on Twitter, a lot of people were talking, and I think I would hope that a lot of Bills Mafia is more tongue-in-cheek. They talked about how he sat down with Marty Smith, and they posted that, DT. I don't know if you saw it, but it was right before the game, and he was talking about his wife, and he's a newlywed, and he was talking about how, she convinced him and kind of let him know that he's more than just a football player and stuff like that. So I'm not even trying to get into all that part. I don't think that it's anything about that. Congratulations again to the Allens. He's allowed to get married. He is more than a football player. He won't play football forever. I'm not talking about that. Something is off with Josh Allen. I listened to Joe Marino, who I trust. He watches those all 22 films. He said Josh's eyes were in the wrong places many times, DT, on Monday night. Many times. That one blitz where he gets picked up by 3 Falcons and driven back, they talked about how the fact that Khalil Shakir, and they see it on all 22, he is wide open as soon as they come on that jailbreak. Something is off with 17. I don't know what it is. I have never remembered the last time anybody wanted to say, let's go head on and blitz this dude, because they would get toasted, DT. Sheed, they would get annihilated if they wanted to try to blitz 17 like this. Nobody is scared of us. I understand the outside weapons are a major issue. Nobody is scared of us, and they are blitzing our quarterback. I don't want him getting hit like that. He was getting hit all day long Monday night, all night long, DT.
Too many hands. You're right. That's a good point, because blitz Josh Allen, please blitz him, right? Like, that's what we've been saying. Like,
that we would love it. We'd love it. You're back to the defense. He have a field day.
Yeah, and Monday didn't look great with that, but there was also, it just seemed like that first read just was never there all night either. Okay. I don't think he got the ball out on the first read at all. And that might be some of him, and that might be some of people just not being there and scheme and getting open. And then, and the inexperienced Joe Brady needs to start throwing some layups in to get in a rhythm, get it going, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But that was my argument when you started talking about this. But then you brought up the blitz thing, and it was like, we hold this dude to such a high standard because he's shown us time and time again that he can live up to it. And blitzing is like rule 1A. You don't blitz him. Like, you're an idiot if you do. And they did every play and got to him and made it happen. So it's, I think, again, going to my first point of the show, a mix of the whole entire team, nobody helping anybody out. Joe Brady didn't help out with the play calling there. Josh Allen didn't help out by being a dog and a Superman, and the offensive line, didn't necessarily do the best in picking all of them up. But that is a great point, that this is a no-brainer, and it's happening very easily with one of, and then it's a good defense, but come on, they're not a Super Bowl contender. They're not a defense that's you're worried about, and they're coming at you guns blazing with no fear. So nothing's off. I just think maybe a little slump, maybe a lot of that, shit is the biggest it's ever been around him. And, coming off the MVP and coming off, all right, we need to win that Super Bowl. So you got to have longevity, and you got to, and it's just bigger. Okay, now this is real. I need to preserve myself. I need to be okay for this city. And maybe, that's something, but if he has also shown us anything in his career, it's that he's extremely coachable, and he learns and gets better and better and better. So if that is the hurdle he is facing right now, and he falters a little bit at this point in the season, take this bye week. That dude said it with the cameras around him. He says it takes these dudes 3 months to correct. It takes this dude 2 reps. I think it's the same in his head too. I think that's why he's on certified high IQ level. He's just one of those goofy geniuses. And so if this is all getting to his head and it's getting him off a little, and he's second guessing where he used to just put it in there, hopefully he can learn quick from it and move on. And we've seen him do that, time in and time out. But great point about the blitz, because that's it's not even something that's in the also don't blitz him. It's
it's number one. It's the first thing.
So that's a good point.
What's going on with 17? Do you notice anything different? His body language was completely shitty, by the way. Now, obviously, we don't see him. We're not at the stadium in the Mercedes-Benz. We don't watch him from the sideline, but his body language was not good. You could tell he was frustrated. You could tell that the one time when he threw the pick, he literally just looked at this. I was like, I don't see that out of him very often. You know what I mean? Like, is it something off? Is it? What's going on, man? Is it Brady?
I just think for me, I kind of agree. I agree with DT. It's early, right? We're only 6 games in, right? It's still early. I think though, what you're watching, especially in the Atlanta game and then the Patriots game, is he was pressing a little bit, right? Those interceptions, trying to get the ball to secure. I don't really want to say, there's something specific off. I just want to say, hey, these are 2 games. He's Josh Allen. He's the MVP. He's going to be back on this game now. I think he's pressing. I think Josh, he does watch the flip pass that he did out to Ty Johnson. He didn't have to do that, right? So he watches and he wants the highlights and things. It was one year he was doing on his Instagram, like the highlights of himself. So really, Josh just need to focus, man. I want Josh Allen to be so much a Tom Brady, it kills me on the inside. I think it's his focus. He got to have that singular focus. I think he's pressing a little bit right now, but it's early, so I really can't say anything's off at the moment.
Okay, all right. As we begin to transition, we'll go to the other side of the football. Well, things did not get much better on there. Now, it was a tale of 2 halves. We'll give credit where it's due. We bashed McDermott, so we got to at least give a little bit of credit. If things cleared up in the second half, that first half, over 350 yards of offense to the Atlanta Falcons. Now, a lot of people say, well, we should have known this matchup was bad with Bijan. We should have known this matchup was going to be bad. I saw the secondary just giving space to Drake London. I didn't even know Drake London played in the slot until I watched that game. I guess I could have known, but I was like, this dude play in the slot? I thought he was like a Mike Evans on the outside. He was getting everything he wanted, DT. Everything was easy. I didn't count. Excuse me. I take that back. Joe Marino and those guys talked about 19 missed tackles by the defense. 7 by the safeties alone on Monday night. That is not going to get it done. DT, what did you see in that first half? Because for me, I know you called me at halftime. It was tough to watch. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing because Atlanta, I had never seen them look like that with Michael Penix, a young quarterback. They looked unstoppable. And it wasn't for a foot, we would have been down 28-7, and that shit would have been over at halftime.
Yeah, facts. And you tale of 2 halves, but I think the Falcons completely took their foot off the gas in the second half.
Absolutely.
And if they wanted to gash us, they might have, in the second half. So
that's true.
Unacceptable. You go back again with penalties, even though the one Trey White PI was BS, but still 2
offsides on the first play with a fumble.
Two third down pass interference. Like you said, 19 missed tackles, 7 by the safeties. I told you when I called you at the first half, every slow motion replay, so every first down play basically the Falcons had, it's just 24. Either on the ground missing a tackle or not anywhere near, in position where he should be, on his heels, chasing.
Talk about 9,
24 and 9, yes. But in that, it was specifically Cole Bishop in every one of those highlights that I was like, man, what? We're not laying licks. We're not getting anything. We weren't getting the pressure we needed. Granted, DeQuan Jones goes out in warm-ups. Come on. And, we're 4 dudes deep on the defensive tackle side. We got backups in, but whatever. We got to be more disciplined. We got to have that effort. You talk about with Nate. We talked about with Nate at his game. Yes, we might be down and out, and we might not have the personnel that it's going to look like in the playoffs, but we got to have effort. We got out here and floated the ball and lay licks on a team a quarterback that we could make quick. And my biggest thing with the defense is the 2 playmakers on this Atlanta Falcons team, 2 guys, Drake London and Bijan Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to just say shut them down, but throw other resources in there and literally invite you to be with somebody else. That's what I think the game plan from a very inexperienced Madden defensive coordinator myself would be. Take away their playmakers and let somebody else beat you on an inferior team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And instead, these dudes have 250 yards apiece, and so what was the game plan then? If it wasn't to take them out, what was the game plan defensively? It wasn't to miss 19 tackles. It wasn't to commit all those penalties. So what was the game plan if it wasn't to take out 5 and 7? Because if that was the game plan, then we got even more problems. Because that's a complete failure. But that's my issue here. What was the game plan defensively? Because none of it made sense.
What did you see, man? What did you see, man? Because that first half was weird as hell, man.
Yeah, well, one thing I like about watching Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky is that they're very intelligent former football players, and I excuse me with the baby in the back and everything.
You good, man? I love them both. I love them both.
Yeah, and so Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky was telling you, hey, the Bills got to come out of this zone defense. They was telling you that in the first half, in the first quarter. And I've been telling people we playing too much damn nickel. Anytime you see Johnson on the field, the Bills are in a nickel.
That's right.
It's Sean McDermott believes that he could run a nickel against anybody. And I said this on my Twitter, is that arrogance. I see arrogance when you try to believe you can do something absent of the talent that having the ability to do it, meaning that you don't have the talent. And they were saying it all through, hey, this isn't Micah Hyde. These players are just running back into their specific zone area, and they're not making plays. The reality of the situation is the Bills have a terrible defense. I was looking at the stats earlier. We're in the bottom third in the league in most stats that really matter. You got your Cole Bishop is terrible. Let's just be honest. Taylor Rapp is terrible. Let's be honest. And then you got Tre'Davious White. He's playing terrible. Let's be honest. And Christian Benford isn't playing good and hasn't been playing good. The only bright spot on this defense right now, maybe there's three. Joey Bosa, Ed Oliver, and Deion Walker.
And Deion doing his thing. Mm-hmm.
And the rest is like, what do you do? And then you got Bobby Babbage. What do we? And then you say, Rob, you came out, you said the second half was better. You're right, it was. But oftentimes when we're watching these Bills games, the second half is better. When you going to realize that you got to do in the first half what you want to do in the second half, so you don't have to get better and make adjustments. This is game planning. Mm-hmm. This is coaching. This is experience. It's a failure of it. I think Rob froze. Rob, are you froze?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so weird. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm here. I don't know what's going on, man. But yeah, I mean, it's so weird because DT said, "What was the game plan? What was the game plan?" And I don't really understand, because when they started playing man, they got better. Like things got better. The whole started to I just don't get what they were trying to accomplish. I think that that's my main problem, is that maybe it is McDermott arrogance, because he does not come out of nickel. He loves to play zone. It's that bend don't break. And I understand that they don't have Mad Max, and I understand that Trey is older. But if something is not working, you have got to do something different. And they were just getting tuned up all half long. Drake London looked like the second coming of I don't know who. I mean, Randy, it was ridiculous seeing how open he was on all of these zone routes where he was just finding space.
Hey, Rob, can you define what does bend don't break mean? Define that for me.
I guess his philosophy is, we'll let you get your yards between the 20s. When you get down to the red zone, you are not scoring on us. And that's been one of the philosophies that he's had since the beginning. Even when Leslie Frazier was here, it was more of a bend don't break. We're not going to make mistakes. We're not going to get beat over the top. You're not going to take the top of off of our defense. And when you get down in the red zone, we're going to bow up. And none of that shit is working right now.
What bow? I haven't seen no bow. All I see is Bijan. Robinson is his name, and he's going for 80.
It was ridiculous. And I don't DT. I mean, listen, I think the main problem that I have, DT, about it is that, what do I get beat down with immediately on Twitter is that we are injured. And I am like, man, we are not the only football team in the National Football League that is dealing with injuries. And when it is your side of the ball, I expect something different. He put it in his post-game press conference. I was right on his ass. As soon as he said it, he snuck it in there. And he talked about, oh yeah, we're fighting through stuff, and we're fighting through this, and we're fighting through injury. And I was like, nope, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. when it's your side of the ball, DT, I can't every year, DT, we're going to just give him an excuse of injuries every year. When San Francisco's coming out with all these guys hurt, still winning games, beating the Rams. When you know what I mean, like the Bucks have nobody for Baker to throw to. Still bombs over Baghdad. I cannot give him. I can't give him the injury thing. Not every year, DT. Not every single year.
That's fair, but have this now. This is probably the worst you felt about a Sean McDermott defense. Would you both agree to that?
Yeah.
Right now, today. This is
that.
probably the worst you feel of a Sean McDermott defense in this whole tenure. Okay, so if it is like Sheed said earlier, if it is trying to just do something that you don't have the talent to do and you just keep trying to do it, then that's bad coaching and you deserve to be, ridiculed and maybe fired because of it. But this is an opportunity to be, to show that you are a good coach, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You are outmatched on talent defensively. That is shown. I mean, too many young guys. Hopefully these guys come back after the suspension.
Yeah, Bash Brothers come back. Mm-hmm.
And they, make a difference and we can hold a little longer and be a little better with what we have. Maxwell Harrison comes back or Trey White gets better or Benford's finally hits his groove, whatever the case is, get in a groove and be good to what we have. But if that talent consistently keeps getting beat, if we go in the, Carolina Panthers put up some yards and points on us and we're like, man, this defense is actually big time in trouble, then it's up to the coach and Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich and see how good you are. You're going to have to start changing philosophy into mind control. You're going to have to show, you're going to have to be masking stuff. You're going to have to show different coverages and then be in a different one. You're going to have to trick other teams because you're not going to be able to beat them physically, on the field. So that's going to be, I think, an opportunity where we feel the worst right now we ever have about a Sean McDermott defense. Mm-hmm. So it either comes together like it has the last 7 years with kind of what we have and it falls in place, bend, don't break, whatever. And that's what we get. Or they continue to look like this every week and it's like, this dude's got to go. Or he comes out and says, all right, we're going to change up the philosophy. We're going to give you different looks. We're going to blitz more. We're going to pull this guy back. We're going to put this guy in coverage. Yeah, and completely change up mind control because you can't be there talented, and then they succeed with it. That's a hell of a job coaching, and that's why he is a defensive mastermind. So 3 options there. But what we see the past couple of weeks obviously is unacceptable.
A lot of comments, DT. A lot of comments. I would just say I can't call him a guru. I can't call him a mastermind, right? It's like Elon Musk is the artificial intelligence autonomous vehicle mastermind because he has Tesla and they're out there and is autonomously running by itself. But if you got a defense and you call it a mastermind and you're the bottom third of the league, you're a mastermind of nothing. He's lying to us. Let's be fair for the people that bash me on the head sheet on Twitter with injuries. So how much is it on injuries then? Is it because we're hurt? So when everybody gets back, so Bash Brothers come back against Carolina. We've got Mad Max on the clock. Maybe he can make it back for Kansas City. Maybe not. Maybe the week after. Who else are we waiting on? Okay. Maybe Daquan Jones is not really seriously injured. He's got, he got a calf. Maybe he misses the Carolina game. We've got the bye week built in right now. When everybody's healthy, is everything okay? How many years are we going to keep playing the same record and expecting something different and then giving the person a pass because of the same old reasons we gave him a pass last year? At what point do we say, okay, cool, yeah, you didn't have your full complement of guys, but it's time for us to make a change, buddy. Okay? And maybe you're responsible for the strength and conditioning coaching staff as well, and these guys are getting soft injuries ultimately, and not saying you can control things of soft tissue injuries, things of that nature, but ultimately maybe there's something there. If year after year your guys cannot stay healthy, maybe it's the way they practice, maybe it's the way they're in the weight room, maybe it's nutrition. I'm no longer absolving him of the responsibility of not being able to get it done irrespective of injuries. I get it. Injuries matters, talent matters on the field, but he's run out of excuses. We hear it all. We hear it all, DT. I mean, as we begin to wrap up tonight's sheet,
I enjoy you so much just because you'll keep it funky. I always say I'm gonna keep it funky here, Nickel City Crew. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, and I always do appreciate it. So if you have to bow out, whenever you have to do bow out, excuse me, feel free to please again plug your stuff. Tell them where to find you, how often they can find you, all that good stuff, because we really do appreciate your time tonight. Before we get to the Nickel City Crew tailgate report.
Yeah, it's Sheet 808. I do my files on Wednesday. I do a post game right after the game. You can find me there. I'm trying to be more consistent. I love being on with Rob Crippen and DT. I appreciate your time. You guys keep it funky. Yes, your thoughts out loud, baby, and tell them the truth. Keep telling them the truth. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for your time.
Man, I appreciate you, She, man. It was good to have you on as well, man. Listen, DT. Now, wait, She, before you go, do it. So is this just a blip? Every year, I heard on WGR, well, the Bills have lost 2 straight games dating back all the way to 1991, which predates McDermott, and this is just what happens. Okay, I will give space for that. Is the schedule just so damn easy that everything is fine? Like it's just all going to be fine?
It depends on what the outcome is that satisfies you. If the outcome is losing to Kansas City or someone else in the playoffs, then everything will be just fine. But if the outcome that you're looking for is winning the Super Bowl, then everything isn't just fine. Defense wins championship. That cliche has been true for years, and it will remain the same. Josh Allen, the Superman, and the Bills' schedule is such that they're going to win the AFC East. Hopefully, without a challenge to New England, they're going to make the playoffs. But are they Super Bowl contenders? Is this defense? Do you see 24-9 making the proper stops in the playoffs? The answer is no. So we just got to keep it real.
God damn. All right, She, I love you, man. DT. Before we get to the report, I'll pose the same question to my co-host, Mr. DT, Mr. Dump Truck. Is this all all going to be good? Is all going to be good?
I think we're right to criticize, but I have to be glass half full here at 4-2. Almost tied for the AFC East. A schedule that's very winnable going forward. The MVP at quarterback. A team that defensively we've kind of bitched about a lot of the same things for years, but they always kind of figure it out enough to get us in that double-digit win total. So glass half full. I got to say it's a blip. Let's get out after the bye week and lay the beat down with you and I and Witness next Sunday and get right back on track. So that's where I am. Glass half full. We got the MVP. Come hang out with us.
All right, I got you. I'm with you, man. I reserve the right to change my mind. I think that if 2 weeks ago I thought that they could win the Super Bowl, I still do think that. However, I do think that there are some flaws with Joe Brady. I feel like or as you alluded to earlier, maybe it's all McDermott. There are some flaws with the offensive philosophy. That's why I named the episode the way that I did. There are some flaws with the defensive philosophy. It's on McDermott to get that right because that's his baby. That's his side of the ball. So I reserve my right to change my mind. But if I thought at 4-0 they could win it, I still think we can win it. I'm not even greedy. I just want this. Can I just wake up on Sunday morning and it's Super Bowl Sunday and my team is in it? That's all I want right now. And I'll let the chips fall from there. Excuse me. Now, as we begin to wrap up tonight, the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report is sponsored by Queen City Vintage. Please check out Queen City Vintage. Listen, they've got everything that you need for all the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres, all of the old swag, the drip, as the kids say. They got it all for you. Check out our buddy Nick. He's got a great actual storefront right there on Elmwood across from 40 Thieves. Listen, check them out. They've got everything that you need. It's Queen_City_Vintage. Check them out on Instagram and Twitter. Listen, they have everything that you need. DT, talk to me about everything that you had going on, because I know on my end it was a absolute shit show on Monday. I will get to it. I'm giving you the floor because you're still on the mayor tour. You're still doing everything. I know that you had the wedding and Kai and Paige. Shout out to the Andersons. You've been everywhere kissing babies and shaking hands. Yeah. Monday was a shit show. I'll go last.
Okay. All right. I'll start it off as Nickel City knows. Queen City Vintage Tailgate Report. Here we go. Last Thursday, we were live. I did the pod from where were we? Bedford, Virginia, out in the mountains of Virginia, before our friend's wedding down there. another good fall weather weekend, beautiful scenic wedding that weekend. Real cool thing. I was with the newlyweds. I was with them for, 11 straight days, their honeymoon, with me rolling with them. We hit up, you ever been to a Buc-ee's, Rob? You ever hear Buc-ee's?
I have heard of Buc-ee's. My
Nickel
son,
City crew,
my kings, my
Buc-ee's.
2 oldest kings have been there before on the road. Yep, I've heard
Buc-ee's,
of it.
man, it is a paradise of gas station and rest stop and everything put together. It's one of the best experiences I've ever seen with a situation like that.
With a gas
Right up my
station.
alley. Loved every second of it. It was a great time in there. Would recommend it to the whole Nickel City crew. Get to a Buc-ee's near you. That was stopped because we had to get some tailgate stuff to go up, and we hit Penn State this weekend. Their homecoming. It was right on our way up. Me, Kai, and Paige, the newlyweds, and I, like it was all week, rolled up to Penn State. Their homecoming against Northwestern.
Word?
It was bumping.
Word?
Similar game. I've been to a few Penn State games. Shout out Day, but this was the first time I actually went and like tailgated, and
Yeah.
like walked through the tailgate.
Was
It
that
gave me
Beaver
big.
Stadium, right? Beaver
Yep,
Stadium.
Beaver Stadium, 110,000, and it was homecoming. I think there was 108 in the stadium for homecoming,
Lord
even though
have
they've been
mercy.
sucking.
Lord
It was
have
all,
mercy.
we were tailgating next to alumni from all over, and it gave me real Bills Mafia vibes, Rob. It was
What's
out
up.
in the field.
Yeah,
It
they're in
wasn't
the
as
mountains.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wasn't as crazy, but people, as you started getting closer to the stadium, you started seeing the setups, and there was some, they're professionals out there, just like the Mafia is at some points too. There's some diehards that have been going to, Penn State games for 40, 50 years, and it showed. They had some nice setups. So got into that stadium, homecoming, beautiful day. That's just awesome. Big Ten ball, the band's going, the crowd into it. But Penn State stinks, and they fired Franklin right in front of us,
$48
basically.
million buyout.
Yep.
That is
Shit.
ridiculous.
I want to get fired for that. And
I know, that's crazy.
fired Franklin in front of us. Saw Drew Ayler's leg snap in front of us.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Quite a
ankle.
wild game. And shout out Northwestern, came in there with 108,000 and took care of business on their homecoming. So that was a nice cap to their wedding the week before, the traveling to Virginia the next week. Boom, end it with Penn State, and then got back to work on Monday. And definitely was a little foggy. Got to the game, real kind of slow roll. Had a few of the boys over, and just watched kind of the massacre.
Oh wow. On my end, listen, it's funny because on my end, I've got the ticket and stuff like that. So got the ticket, and it's supposed to work at multiple houses. So I hook up Nate because of the fact that he watches every game with me. I'm like, so listen, so like Saturday, I was like, listen, just watch the game with your mom. You know what I mean? You never watch any game with her. Like, go over there and watch it, and because it's her night or whatever. So I don't have the Kings on Monday. So I was like, you know what? Watch the game with your mother. So I get a call. Dad, it's not working. I'm like, like what? I'm in the shed. I'm chilling. I'm smoking, chilling. I'm like, it's working fine for me. He's like, Dad, it's not working. I'm like, man, listen, I don't know what you want me to do right now, but tell me what you want me to do. Hurry up because we're getting beat, and I'm a little bit on edge. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, okay, Mom says that she can fix it. Mom says she can fix it. They can't fix it. Then Bobby's got a 7:45 soccer practice on a school night. I have no idea why they do that to those kids. So she's rushing him out. He calls. I call him back. I'm like, did you get it working? He's crying. And I'm like, okay, I can't do this. Like, you know what I mean? So I rush over there because we live close, rush over there, grab him, bring him back here. We're still losing. I'm like, all right, it's all good. I get a call. Rebecca, I'm like, what? I'm like, he was crying. What do you want me to do? He was crying. She's like, you came and got him. You didn't even tell me what's going on. I'm like, the TV's not working. What do you want? I mean, he's crying. You know what I mean? So we're arguing. I mean, it was just a shit show. We're arguing. The Bills are getting their ass whooping still the first half or whatever. So I'm like, well, listen, I'll bring them back over at half. She's like, I had dinner planned and this. I was like, no problem. I'll bring him back over, get the TV working. I'm like, stream it in the meantime. So I give her the stream, the backdoor channels you can stream. I'm like, get the stream working. I'm like, I'll bring him back at halftime. Halftime comes. I'm getting ready to take him over there. I got the stream hooked up. It's all good. Get another call, third quarter, right after we score. And I'm like, what's up? It's not working. Stream went down. And I'm like, yo, man, if y'all don't bring y'all asses over here right now to watch this game and stop calling me and stop bothering me, I'm about to blow up. Because I thought that we were getting ready to make our comeback. I'm like, it's working. Like, let's go. So needless to say, they did come over. They couldn't get the stream working again. I don't know what was going on with the ticket over there with multiple households, but that was my Monday night. I was arguing with my ex-wife for the first half, a kid crying right before halftime, and then I had to go grab Nate because I'm like, well, he's a Bills fan like his father, like he wants to see the game. And it killed me and crushed me that he was crying. I was like, I'm on my way, no problem. And when I tell you I got bitched out for that one, because she was taking Bobby to practice, to soccer practice. She comes back, he's gone. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. He was crying, man. I'm not gonna just let my baby cry over the Bills. Like I'm coming to get him. You know what I mean? So, so yes, they eventually came over. Bobby was done with practice. He got dropped off, and they all came over because it wasn't working at her house for the stream and for the ticket, and they finished up here. And I was washing dishes at the end of the night. By the time the fourth quarter was around, and I was just like, this is deja vu. I'm like, and that's what I posted out there this week. Shout out to Olivia Nagel. Like, this just felt like deja vu. It was a weird, eerie feeling, DT, because we remember those back-to-back games last year. We remember, going out and getting Cooper. And if the wide receivers can't separate, why are you throwing sideline deep balls to Keon Coleman that are not? If somebody else calls those 50-50 balls one more fucking time, those are not 50-50 balls. Those are like 20-80 balls or 15, 85. Like, it's not, those are not 50-50 balls, even close. I got to see something different, DT. I got to see something different, man.
Yeah, we've talked about the last couple of weeks. Film can't be fun the past few weeks. The past 3-4, film can't be fun. A lot of missed assignments, a lot of discipline stuff that a bye week usually can fix. Get some guys back healthy. If something is off with 17, get it right in this bye week. It was off. He's watching that film and the game cast of him, literally, looking like a wounded deer on the sideline every single possession.
That's what I was asking.
He had the ball. The MVP had the ball in his hands down one possession 8 times on Monday night, Rob.
Wow.
So that's what it comes down to. We got to put the ball in the end zone. We got to get 3. 8 times down in points. He got the ball 8 times.
One possession.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I didn't even know it was that bad.
Yeah. So it needs to button up from everybody. I said in the beginning of the show, nobody helped anybody from Terry Pagula down to the punter of this game. Nobody helped anybody. So let's get it right. Use the bye week for what bye weeks are used for and come out. Sean McDermott 8-0 out of the bye. Josh Allen 7-0 out of the bye. Nickel City Crew down in CLT. Let's get back.
I can't wait. Yeah, now that is going to be epic for sure because we are on a bye week, Nickel City Crew. So we will take a break unless Brandon Bean makes a trade. We're going to take our own bye week as well this week. So no show next Thursday unless there's a trade. If there's a trade, you already know my Black is going to be on here. Ready to talk about it. I will definitely be on here with or without DT. I know he's busy, but yes, Nickel City Crew, it is right around the corner. DT, our creative director, Olivia Nagel, shout out to her. They will be in the building. They will literally be in my building here in Charlotte at my house. I've got the Airbnb right out back, and I can't wait for it. That'll be an epic tailgate report. We've got some stuff lined up for you guys, Nickel City Crew, on that, so stay tuned. We will be starting to post stuff this coming up week. Again, shout out to Olivia. She'll help us promote. But listen, DT is going to be in the building, Nickel City Crew. He's going to be right here with me. Again, we got some stuff planned for that Friday night show, when they get in town. But listen, I'm really excited about it. This was kind of a bummer to have a loss coming off of it, but hey, the flip side of that coin is that the Bills should be plenty pissed off coming off the bye week, and they should put on the show right here at Bank of America Stadium down here in Charlotte, where I am, DT. I am genuinely really, really excited to see you, man. I really am.
1 week. I can't wait. We've been playing this as soon as the schedule came out. Can't wait. It's going to be an epic time. Can't wait to get down there and see the family, and get back on the winning track. It's 1 week away. 1 week from tomorrow, we're down. So
yeah,
we'll be live
out there. Listen, Bills Mafia, again, out there, Nickel City Crew, spread love, not hate. Listen, you got the bye week. Get the stuff done, get the lawn done, break the leaves, do whatever the girlfriend is telling you to do everything, get it out the way, because when we come back facing the Carolina Panthers, it's go time. It's locked in for the rest of the year, a game every single week, and hopefully the postseason follows it. Listen, out there, spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. But hit them with a go Bills, even on a bye week, DT. Hit them with a go Bills.
Hey, bye week. We'll stay 4-2. Quick shout out, NW football, Northwestern Wildcat football down in Albion, Pennsylvania. Head coached by Big Ben, our pride and joy, running the 1s and 2s at the tailgates. Good luck the rest of your season. So, yeah, use the bye week. Get right. I'm taking a bye week. I've been telling everyone, taking a bye week on myself. Laying low. I've had a wild 2 weeks, so it's just going to be a nice, quiet, slow roll weekend. Let's get ourselves right. Get ready for CLT.
Nickel City crew, we will see you not this week coming up Thursday, but the following Friday. We got something special for you. DT in the building, literally down here in Charlotte. Out there, man. Spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts and out loud. Go Bills.
Go Bills.